Stevie Wonder, If You Really Love Me. It's Wave 105 on Sunday evening, and we're going to prepare you now for the coming week with 5 things you need to know about next week. With columnist and blogger Vicky Charles. Hello.
Good evening.
How are you?
I am marvellous, though struggling with a little bit less sleep.
I really haven't timed things well this weekend because I was working Saturday night, so I didn't get to bed till 1:30, which was technically 2:30, to then get up at 6:30 to be in here for... Anyway, whatever.
Youch, you win.
I do. Don't even go there on the lack of sleep front. So anyway, what's the first thing we need to know about next week?
Tomorrow, the 30th, Take a Walk in the Park Day.
Sounds exciting.
For a lot of people, it's the start of the Easter holidays. Hopefully, spring's kind of poked its head around the corner there. Might be a bit sunny, hopefully, and we can all go for a nice walk in the park. The idea is literally just to go for a walk in the park. I can't find any kind of associations with it. It's just about going for a nice little walk, which I thought was handy for a Monday.
So what's the second thing we need to know about next week?
Back to the Future fans, listen up. It's 30 years old this year, and there is a new exhibition opening at Portsmouth Guildhall on Tuesday.
Brilliant. What sort of stuff will they be exhibiting?
Lots of props made for filming and replicas and vintage products that are found in the stories in the films.
So this is the 30th anniversary of the film being made, and not the 30th anniversary of the date that Marty McFly sets things forward to, because that's October something, if I remember rightly.
Oh, it comes up on Facebook every other week, that date.
Normally airbrushed with a different date on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's 30 years since the first movie was released, but in the second movie, he does jump forward in time to 2015 with the hoverboard that I've yet to see in The Entertainer.
So if you're a fan of 80s memorabilia, movies in particular, Portsmouth Guildhall Tuesday's a good shout. What's the third thing we need to know about next week?
It's April Fool's Day on Wednesday.
Really?
Brace yourself.
What's the tradition behind this then originally?
Oh, it goes back to New Year's Day. It was originally celebrated at a different point in the year, and when they decided to change it to the 1st of January, they called people fools if they celebrated it in April. Exactly. The look on your face says it all. I really didn't want to hear that.
So that's the origin of April Fool's Day.
I have to say, my absolute favourite and one of the most famous April Fool's Day pranks, the BBC aired a panorama episode in the 50s showing Swiss farmers picking freshly grown spaghetti, and they were so inundated with phone calls of people wanting a spaghetti plant that they had to put out an announcement.
That's one of the most famous examples.
It's brilliant.
When I worked at a radio station in Coventry, we once tried to convince the population of Coventry that it was being merged with Birmingham. And we got away with it as well. We got away with it for most of the morning. It was brilliant fun.
That's hilarious.
So be on your guard Wednesday morning, because whether it's radio, TV or newspapers, all maybe not as it seems.
The internet definitely is going to be full of it.
So what's the fourth thing we need to know about next week?
Friday's Good Friday. The start of the bank holiday weekend, 4-day weekend, hooray, but also Easter egg hunts everywhere.
Lots of stuff going on for Easter.
I cannot wait. I love Easter egg hunts and things like that.
The National Trust are always quite heavily involved with Easter activities.
Heavily, that's a good word. Yeah, they've buried 21.5 tonnes of chocolate eggs. I know. I can't wait to go and find some of them. That's not just around here, that's all over the UK. But basically, if you've got a National Trust place near you, you can guarantee they've got loads of chocolate eggs hanging around.
So Brownsea Island, Kingston Lacey, Corfe Castle.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. And what's the fifth and final thing we need to know about next week?
It's Easter on Sunday.
As if you hadn't already gathered from the previous item.
Yes. Roast lamb for dinner, yummy, yummy. And obviously the end of Lent, so all the people who've given up all sorts of things can start eating, drinking, whatever again.
It's important to know the exact precise point of the end of Lent, because when we gave up social media for Lent last year, I came
You were
back
trying to
on...
blag your way out saying it was Good Friday, weren't you?
I thought it was Good Friday. I Googled it.
Oh, don't Google things. That's
and
where you
then
go wrong.
every naysayer in the world was pointing the thing and going, you failed. Actually, no, I did do what I intended to do. Was that really a year ago we gave up social media?
It was a year. Well, yeah, over a year, because Easter had already happened this time last year. Because it's a movable feast.
That's true. For more info on any of those items we've discussed, where do people need to head?
SingleMotherAhoy.com.
Which is Vicky's blog, and we'll link to that via our Facebook page. Have a great Easter, and we'll see you next Sunday.
See you next week.
And this is Ed Sheeran, Bloodstream on Wave 105.